Hi again, everybody. This video is sponsored by contribution from Anonymous, and here's her story. Hi, Ollie. I wanted to thank you again for the 5 videos you've made for me so far. When you mistake narcissism for compassion, fear of loneliness after narcissistic abuse, when a therapist misses the opportunity to explore the roots of your narcissistic abuse, the mental terrorism of the narcissist, and the closeted lesbian narcissistic mother. Thank you for putting all the videos I've made, because it's hard to remember. It's pretty much impossible. So when I do get follow-ups or repeat, if you're repeat, please put in the videos I made for you in the past, because it is very difficult for me to try to figure it out sometimes, because I'm considering making playlists for repeat people so they can have their things in their videos in one section. So I really want to try to section out the channel a little bit better, so people who have multiple videos kind of would have their own playlist within my channel. So that might help everybody stay current with everybody else's stories, where one really strikes a chord. So if you're a repeat, something to consider. I'm happy to tell you I kicked my old therapist to the curb and found a new one. We're doing a type of trauma treatment called EMDR, and I think it's helping. My new therapist is a trauma specialist, very perceptive, sharp, and caring. I think I finally found the right one. It really struck me when you talked about how insidious covert narcissism is on the video, The Mental Terrorism of the Narcissist. I think the deepest evil covert narcs like my mother commit is how their stealth abuse blocks you from being able to heal. You're kept so off balance by the angel-devil routine that it denies you access to even your own feelings. Your pain doesn't even have a name. Alia never stood up to my covert narc mother enough when she was alive. I hate that I was so frightened of her. As a child, I remember feeling such blind rage towards her, even when she was outwardly supportive and affectionate. Affection was even worse for me, because when my mother would try to be affectionate or would actually try to be loving with me, I would hate her more. Because to me, it was so fake. And it was so not her personality, and who I, even as a child, knew she wasn't. I know you're not this nice person. I know you're not this loving person. You're putting on a performance either for other people, or on the rare occasion, you might have some guilt to make yourself feel better, but none of it was real. Affection from the narcissist would actually make me angrier. And it's obviously had the same thing from you. And the reason is it's not real. It's another act. Like, you're like, this bitch. This bitch. Is this bitch hugging me right now? Really? Like, I don't even want you touching me. I don't want you acting like I'm your kid in front of people, or acting like all of a sudden we have this loving relationship out of nowhere where you're just being nice to me. It's not real. It's not fake. And that's why it would enrage me. And that's why it enrages you. I never trusted her. But I thought I was a monster for having those feelings, because they seemed to make no sense. I didn't know then that covert narcissism is hate wearing love's face. My instinct about her was right. I grieved very hard after my mother died. I only now realize I was grieving for what I never had, not her. She was a manipulative, sadistic bitch who took out her frustration at being a closet lesbian on her only daughter and child. I was not a person to her. I was property. But she was too cunning to abuse me in a way that could have me taken away from her. After all, if you starve or beat a slave, she might be too weak to carry out her duties. It only makes sense to keep one clothed, fed, and ambulatory. They're more useful that way. My brain has finally registered the full impact of what she did, and I am staggered by it. She gaslighted me half to death, and she got off on provoking me until I exploded in anger, flipping the script to make it look like I was the disrespectful, ungrateful daughter and she was the victim. Just gave her double supply. I remember the smirk that would spread over her face whenever she worked me into a fury. She would set me up, then calmly sit back and enjoy the fireworks as I went off. I can still hear her making a sucking sound with her lips against her teeth in response to my rage and the gloating expression as she fed off my anger. You mean this? Because that's what Drunky would do to me. When she would get me to snap and then this is why you don't go back. My mother died 14 years ago, and I still would love to punch her dead in the mouth for that and her sexual bullying. I remember her threatening to break my head when we fought. Although she never actually struck that kind of blow physically, that is ultimately exactly what she did. She just didn't use her fists to do it. She once said, I always knew I had the power to make people love me or hate me. Shuddering now. The only way I ever really fought back against my mother was by returning her contempt. I often made jokes that implied she was masculine and butch, although she was an attractive woman who dressed well and had a fine taste. Her personality, however, was often very brash, domineering, and mannish. Shut your big nasty mouth was something I heard often. You were the first and only person to tell me that I behaved the way I did because it was the only way I could stay sane. That helped me more than you'll ever know. If I had fully known what kind of psychological danger I was really in, I would have run for my life. You were a kid. Where were we going to run to? Where are you going to go? We're children. Ollie, I'm just a mass of rage and hurt and pain and impaired ability to function. Maybe I'm in the stage where it gets worse before it gets better. I keep telling myself that sometimes part of the healing is temporary feeling you won't ever heal. That it's the middle, not the end. Can you describe one of the first times you had a sense the sun was breaking through the clouds and you felt hope again? I don't have any words for how badly I need to experience one of those moments. Warmest regards, Anonymous. Well, I've never really been asked something like that. What was the first time that I felt hope again? When I found out what narcissism was. When I read the words on paper in a medical, on I think it was WebMD, and I saw it there in words describing every action of my mother. And then later I figured out every action of my father. My mother, my grandmother was immediate. That was the first ray of light when you see your validation written down in a medical journal, whatever WebMD, whatever you would call it, under psychiatric conditions, like, holy shit, it really wasn't me. Because even though I would fight like hell, I still always deep down believed I was the problem somehow, that somehow they were right and I was making it up and my hate and my rage wasn't rational, that I wasn't seeing something, that I was bad, that I was evil. And the first time I saw it written, what narcissism was, borderline personality, histrionic personality, it started with histrionic personality. Holy shit. Holy shit, this is her. This is all of them. It wasn't me. I wasn't crazy. This is everything I couldn't put into fucking words. For 30, I think it was 31, 32 at the time. No, wait, that was 06. Right before she died. So it was 06. So it was 34. Right where I had my, I don't know if you would call it a breakdown or an epiphany or whatever it was. Shit. That was the year I had enough. That's where I started seeing everything, because by 07, I was done. So the door was creaked open once I understood. I saw it, saw my mother's actions written down, saw the family's actions written down by medical professionals. This is real. This isn't me. I wasn't crazy, it's them. So I don't know if it was hope I felt, but I saw something. I saw something. Look, we're going to go back and forth with this for the rest of our lives. Okay? The sun can't shine 24/7. The sun goes away, you can have rainy days. That's life. That's the way this is going to work. But as long as you remember, the sun will come back out again. It doesn't stay dark forever. And the reason it's not going to stay dark forever is because you already know you had your value, you got your validation, and you're getting better. You found a psychologist that works. You found a therapy that works. So you're always going to have rainy days. But the sun always does come out once you're able to understand what the behaviors are. And you are. Don't get put down by the rainy days. Sometimes the rainy days come. Listen, when it rains, it replenishes. It feeds. So look at your rainy days feeding your no contact, feeding your healing, to remind you who these people are, who they always were. It's watering the grass so you can grow stronger for when that sun comes back out, and you can grow and you can heal and you can enjoy those sunny days. So thank you for all your support. I really hope this helps, and thank you for the story. I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comments section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a narcissist you'd like to expose, or a topic you'd like me to cover, you know what to do with the PayPal and my email links in the description box. And remember, when you do email me your story, please put at the top of the email whether it's with or without contribution and what name you'd like to go by. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. See you all again soon.